What if everything people thought they knew about the royal family just flipped overnight? Meghan Markle is reportedly caught off guard after Prince William drops a revelation that's got everyone questioning the story they believed. And the timing couldn't be more intense. This unexpected DNA twist is spreading fast, with insiders hinting it could shake long-standing narratives in a way no one saw coming. Reactions are pouring in, and royal watchers are scrambling to figure out what this really means.
Fascinating reporting coming from News Nation, the US news channel, and its head of entertainment, Paula Frolic, who reveals Prince William to change the monarchy forever.
Harry and Meghan playing games that resulted in people unnecessarily questioning things. Again, every toxicity thing is result of them.
With Meghan already under constant spotlight, this moment could shift the entire conversation around the royal circle. So why now? And what's really behind it? Then things escalated fast. A palace update. What seemed routine suddenly turned into a major headline. The tone alone caught people off guard. At the center of it, Prince William standing firm, backing a decision to reject a private DNA report linked to Prince Harry.
Yeah, nobody set out to destroy you. You destroyed yourselves in this country with your ludicrous, hypocritical behaviour. The truth be told, what you just said is complete and utter garbage by the British media, the public and the royal family that they've all now abandoned. That's the truth.
With either Archie or Lily, and it needs to happen. They need to prove that those children, Meghan and Harry, are not entitled to privacy in this matter.
That report was supposed to settle questions and bring clarity around Archie's place in royal records. A quiet solution, or at least that was the idea. But instead of closing the chapter, it reopened everything. More questions, more tension, more attention back on the family. And here's where it gets serious. The palace didn't just hesitate, they shut the door completely. Now, only official channels, strict protocols, and trusted specialists will be accepted. No private reports, no shortcuts.
Prince William doubles down. According to multiple sources, it's now a matter of when, not if, he strips Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their royal titles.
Princess Lilibet Diana had been christened. Why would they use a title for their children that represents an institution they loathe so much?
What started as a personal issue just turned into something much bigger. Power, control, and who decides the truth. So now the question is, what happens when the highest authority draws a line this hard? Conversations are heating up everywhere, from private circles to public debates. People are asking the same thing. How did this situation get so tense? To understand it, you have to go back to what sparked it all. Not long ago, Prince Harry's legal team submitted a detailed 72-page file to Clarence House. Inside, their position, their concerns, and clear requests about recognition and security for his children. This wasn't small, it was serious, and it pushed everything into the spotlight.
They're legally covering their backs. There's just too many unknowns. And then, of course, we have that the doctor that allegedly delivered Lily quit her practice 2 weeks after giving birth to Lily, or delivering Lily. That sentence there is missing.
Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
But instead of resolving things, it triggered something bigger. Prince William stepped in and drew a hard line. No claim tied to the royal line would move forward without official verification under royal authority. That means no private reports, no outside labs, only strict UK-approved processes. And just like that, a personal issue turned into a full-scale power move. What started quietly is now about control, trust, and who decides what counts as truth inside the monarchy. Now sources are pointing to confusion, mixed details, questions about how everything was presented. So if the story isn't as clear as it seemed, what else hasn't been fully revealed?
The first thing is that these children are being raised in some type of freak show. You know, it's like they are Michael Jackson's children who were paraded to the world but covered up in masks. Yeah, but then remember, he covered their identities and their faces in masks, you know.
Now things take a sharper turn, because one of the first issues being discussed centers around Meghan's pregnancy photos. Palace teams reportedly examined images from early 2019 in extreme detail, frame by frame, looking for anything unusual. 2 appearances in London, same day, different photos, sparked the biggest reaction. In earlier shots, her baby bump looked more pronounced. Then later, it appeared different in shape and position. People started asking questions. Was it just lighting, movement, or something else entirely? That alone pushed things behind closed doors. Some reports even claim advanced imaging tools were used to study the differences more closely. But here's the reality. Experts often point out that posture, clothing, and camera angles can easily change how things look in photos. Still, the conversation didn't stop. Because another issue added fuel. There wasn't the same level of detailed public medical confirmation seen in past royal births, and that stood out.
I think what Prince William is acutely aware of, and this has certainly been my reporting, is that look at what happened when you allowed to run rampant for so many years, chasing the cash.
Harry and Meghan have never provided any evidence for that highly incendiary claim.
Royal milestones are usually documented carefully, so any difference in approach naturally raises eyebrows. Then it got even more complicated. Reports claimed no clearly confirmed hospital discharge records surfaced publicly, and nothing showed up through the usual royal archive channels. That absence quickly became a major talking point. And just when things seemed intense enough, another detail dropped. Archie's birth certificate was reportedly updated weeks later. A change to any official record always draws attention, and this one did exactly that. Meghan's name was adjusted to reflect her royal title, with representatives saying it followed internal guidance.
Meghan Markle gave birth to Lily because this is what's called plausible deniability. They want to be able to say, hey, we never claimed that she was our daughter in that announcement. They're legally covering their backs. The doctor that allegedly delivered Lily quit her practice 2 weeks after giving birth to Lily or delivering Lily. That sentence there is missing. That is a vital sentence that Meghan Markle chose not to put in an official statement because she knows she would get into a lot of legal trouble.
So with all these details stacking up, the real question is, are these just coincidences or something people are still trying to fully understand? That small change on the birth certificate, it didn't stay small for long. When people noticed other royal documents hadn't been altered the same way, it instantly raised more questions. What looked like a simple update suddenly became a major point of focus. And just when it felt like things couldn't get more layered, another twist surfaced, this time tied to financial details. Reports claim a quiet audit flagged a $499 transaction made shortly before Archie's birth was announced. The payment was allegedly linked to a private medical facility known for discretion. At first, it seemed minor, but inside discussions, it quickly became something people wanted answers to. Now all the pieces, missing records, timeline gaps, document changes, are being looked at together. And that's when things really intensified. Because alongside that payment, there were mentions of a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. That alone was enough to spark deeper scrutiny. From there, the focus shifted to royal tradition itself. The long-standing principle of born of the body suddenly re-entered the conversation. If anything challenges that idea, it's bound to shake everything. Right now, much of this remains unconfirmed, but the attention keeps growing. So the question is, if even part of this turns out to be true, what does it mean for everything people thought they knew?
A lot of the royal watchers were complaining that they felt like her posts on social media where she barely shows the kids is almost taunting the king who doesn't know these children and how unfair this is.
Now they want to give their kids the titles of prince and princess, even though they don't live anywhere near the royal family. They don't do any duties. They do nothing to deserve it. They live in a mansion in Montecito in California and use their own royal title to make loads of money.
Then all eyes locked onto the DNA test itself, the one thing meant to settle everything. But instead of bringing clarity, it created even more questions. The test was reportedly handled by a smaller private lab in California, and that alone raised eyebrows among those following closely. But it didn't stop there. Reports claim the samples weren't even transported through a fully neutral, tightly controlled process. That detail hit hard, because when it comes to something this sensitive, every step is supposed to be airtight.
And Meghan just thinks she's too wonderful to be left out of it, and she will win because she'll go to court if she doesn't keep her title. I don't know, it's very hard. It's very hard to lose your title, but I do really hope that it's taken away. I mean, she's complained for over 6 years now.
That it just really kind of boggles the mind. I mean, just for titles, for example. So when Archie was first born, they said they didn't want him to have a title. He was going to be a private citizen. I was like, bravo, you understand. He's not going to be a working member of the royal family. He is going to have to live a normal life, get a normal job. That is fantastic.
Then another issue surfaced. The lab wasn't listed under major UK accreditation bodies or widely recognized global standards for legal DNA verification. That instantly made people question whether the results could meet the level expected for something tied to the royal family. And just when things seemed unclear enough, more layers appeared. The submission process was reportedly handled by a US-based attorney known for family cases, not royal protocol. That alone raised serious eyebrows. Then came the twist that pushed everything further. A leaked internal email started circulating, and one line grabbed everyone's attention. It suggested the report only needed to appear solid on paper, not necessarily meet the highest standard. That changed everything. Even though the email was later addressed, it didn't calm concerns. Instead, it shifted the entire perception of the DNA test, from solid evidence to something that looked more strategic.
This case about whether you think the birth was real, whether you think there was a surrogate, whether you think Meghan was wearing a moon bump. The fact is, Harry and Meghan lied. Buckingham Palace lied on their behalf. There was a complete cover-up over the birth of Prince. Even if Harry and Meghan right now are earning their own money, that well is drying up. You've got to take the ability for them to damage the royal family in the future away, and you've got to do that now. You've got to do it swiftly.
And just as pressure was building, another detail surfaced. A timeline showed samples moving from Los Angeles to London, and possibly even to a lab in Switzerland. So now the question is, why were there multiple paths, and what was really happening behind the scenes? And just when things couldn't get more confusing, they did. Reports claimed the Swiss lab never even completed testing, allegedly due to payment issues. That raised a huge question. Was there a backup plan all along? It gets deeper.
She was never pregnant at all. Instead, the videos embolden conspiracy theorists. They're calling it Megspiracy, and the pair are being subjected to yet more merciless ridicule.
Insider claims say the sample sent to Zurich was labeled for practice use only, meaning no official verification happened there either. So now what was supposed to be a clear DNA process suddenly looks scattered, unclear, and full of gaps. What started as something straightforward now feels like a maze of unanswered questions. And Buckingham Palace? They're reportedly no longer treating this as routine. This has escalated into something serious, something demanding attention at the highest level. Then came a move no one expected.
We have to come out and show the baby in some way, but we're not coming out to the street. The filthy masses are not going to have anything to do with our kid. So then they show up, and there's Meghan in her white dress with Harry, and he's holding this completely still baby.
Prince William reportedly activated a little-known body, the Royal Commission for Lineal Ethics and Continuity, RCLE, a group that stayed out of public view for years, until now. Suddenly, the full panel is assembled. Legal experts, historians, a former judge, a royal archivist, even someone tied to intelligence whose identity hasn't been revealed. That alone shows how serious this has become. Their mission? To examine everything. Documents, traditions, lineage rules, nothing is off limits. Because this isn't just about paperwork anymore. It's about how royal identity itself is defined. Reports say they're already reviewing multiple records tied to Archie and Lilibet, digging into travel timelines, security footage, even financial data. The level of detail, far beyond normal royal reviews. So now the question is, what happens if this investigation uncovers something no one was prepared for?
This crisis won't die down until the irrefutable truth comes out.
If this review ends up challenging how royal succession is understood, the impact could be massive. We're not just talking titles. This could affect official records, ceremonial roles, and how individuals are recognized across the entire royal system. And then another sensitive layer enters the picture. Princess Diana's estate, a fund meant to pass through her sons to future generations, is now part of the conversation. That alone raises the stakes. Reports say Prince William has already stepped into private talks about that fund, valued at over £22 million. The focus? Potentially putting any allocations tied to the Sussex children on hold until the review is complete. That move instantly adds pressure. Because if that pause happens, access to those funds could be delayed. And now this isn't just about protocol, it's about family, legacy, and real financial decisions. Behind the scenes, reactions are strong. Claims suggest Prince Harry is deeply frustrated, seeing this as more than just procedure. One widely shared quote captures that emotion, saying Diana believed in hearts, not birth certificates. But palace sources are holding firm. From their side, this is about structure, standards, and doing everything by the book until the review is done. So now the tension is at its peak, and the question is, when the final decision comes, who does it really change everything for?
It's not like they haven't had the chance to. After all, they pumped out 6 hours of self-indulgent bilge on Netflix, trashing Britain and the press for its racism.
This financial hold, it's no longer looking temporary. Insiders say it's part of a bigger strategy unfolding behind palace doors as Prince William tightens control over how everything is handled. Then another major figure steps in, King Charles III. Reports claim a previously sealed memo written by the king has now been pulled back into discussion at William's request. And just the rumored subject line has people talking: Sussex children and the threshold of trust. That alone sparked serious debate. The memo was reportedly locked under high-level protection and tied to earlier concerns around timelines. If true, that means this wasn't a sudden issue. It was being considered at the highest level for a while. Some believe the document points towards stricter rules for royal recognition, a shift away from past approaches. And sources say King Charles faced a tough balance, personal feelings versus royal duty, but ultimately leaned towards structure and consistency. But the response didn't take long, and it came in strong. Meghan Markle's legal team reportedly fired back with a major high court filing, and they didn't hold back. Their claim that Prince William and the Privy Council may have overstepped, that this isn't just royal protocol, it crosses into international legal rights, especially with Archie and Lilibet holding dual citizenship. So now it's not just a royal issue anymore, it's turning into something much bigger. The question is, when royal tradition meets global law, which one actually wins?
California Birth Index, and per the website at thecaliforniabirthindex.org, the California Birth Index, or CABI, is a database that stores records of births in California, abstracts of birth certificates. Putting her full official name of Rachel Meghan Markle, you can see that the official record shows
this situation is no longer staying inside royal walls. It's expanding fast, moving into a global legal arena where modern law is clashing with royal tradition. And that changes everything. Meghan's side isn't holding back. Their legal argument reportedly challenges the authority of internal royal records, questioning whether those systems can even make final decisions about identity and recognition. If that claim sticks, the consequences could be huge. To strengthen their case, the filing reportedly included both formal statements and personal family moments. Not just legal pressure, but emotional weight too. And while all this unfolds, the palace has gone quiet. But insiders say that silence is strategic, not accidental. Inside the royal circle, the divide is now impossible to hide. Princess Anne is said to fully back Prince William, even pushing for an independent medical tribunal. Meanwhile, Prince Edward reportedly worries about how intense this has become, but still agrees the monarchy can't afford uncertainty. And the pressure? It's global now. Every move is being watched. Even Queen Camilla, calm in public, is rumored to have said the crown must rise above scandal. That mindset only adds more tension. On the other side, Prince Harry's reaction is said to be deeply emotional. Reports describe frustration, disappointment, even distance between him and William after a tense conversation. What started as paperwork has turned into something personal. Now, this is bigger than DNA. It's about trust, legacy, and the future of the monarchy itself. Behind closed doors, decisions are being shaped carefully, but the stakes couldn't be higher because now the final report, built from records, data, and private testimonies, is in the hands of just 3 figures: Prince William, Princess Anne, and the Lord High Chancellor. And the real question is, when that decision drops, does it protect the monarchy or change it forever? This decision isn't just about now. It could shape how the monarchy is seen for years. And while the palace stays silent, something big is building behind the scenes. Meghan Markle, who stayed mostly quiet, is now reportedly preparing a powerful public response. Sources say a recorded statement is already done, filmed at her home and ready to drop right after the final decision. And it's not light, it's deeply personal. In that message, she's expected to speak directly about her pregnancies, the pressure, and the constant scrutiny. One line already making waves: "I carried my children, I gave birth to them, and now they're being erased." This isn't about lineage, it's about power, fear, and control. If that hits the public, it could shift everything. But that's not all, because Prince William is also preparing his own response. Quiet, controlled, but just as impactful. Insiders say a carefully written speech is ready, titled "On the Matter of Lineage and Constitutional Continuity." This isn't just a statement, it's being described as a defining moment, a message that could reshape how the monarchy presents itself in today's world.
Reports suggest it will drop right after the final ruling, laying out not just the decision, but the future. Stricter standards, clearer rules, and a stronger focus on stability. And his tone? Calm, but firm. Focused on duty over emotion. One powerful line stands out: this decision was not made with malice. It was made with duty. I would rather face public backlash than risk the erosion of royal truth. So now everything is set, both sides ready to speak. When those statements go live, whose version of the story will the world believe? That message alone already has people talking. But then something unexpected dropped. Reports of a private jet heading to London started circulating, and instantly the tension went up. Details are limited, but that's what's making it louder. Who's on board? Why now? And could this arrival change everything that's about to unfold? Here's where it gets serious. A leaked travel record reportedly lists one name: Henry Mountbatten Windsor, traveling with 2 young dependents on a private jet from California. That detail alone has everyone watching closely.
Apparently, they invited all the royals to Lilibet's christening, but they all declined to come, as if they're all going to get on a plane and fly to California to embrace the people who've been trashing them for the last 3 years. But it looks like from the jungle drums, they have been invited.
But what's missing? Meghan's name. Now that absence is fueling non-stop speculation. Why isn't she listed? What does that mean? The silence around it is only making the noise bigger, and it gets even stranger. No visible security coordination, no official press acknowledgement, nothing confirmed. Everything about this trip feels tightly controlled. Insiders are now suggesting Prince Harry could be heading back to the UK with Archie and Lilibet. If that's true, this is huge. Some think it could open the door to healing old tensions. Others believe it could push everything closer to breaking point. There's even talk that Harry's goal might be personal, bringing his children directly to King Charles. Not documents, not reports, but face-to-face. A move like that would shift everything from paperwork to raw reality. But not everyone thinks that will calm things down. Some warn it could do the opposite, bringing every unresolved issue straight to the surface. And just when it feels unpredictable enough, another theory appears. What if this trip is a distraction? A move to pull attention away from something bigger happening quietly behind the scenes? Because as one insider reportedly said, this isn't checkers, it's chess. So now all eyes are on that plane. When it lands, does it change everything or make it all explode? Headlines are exploding across the world. Words like turning point and uncertainty are everywhere. And the reaction? Completely split. Some see Meghan as a modern figure under pressure from rigid traditions. Others see Prince William stepping up to protect the crown at a critical moment. The divide is sharp, emotional, and growing fast. And right in the middle, Prince Harry, caught between family loyalty and public duty. His position has become one of the most talked about parts of this entire situation. So where does he stand when everything finally comes to a decision? Because now, everything depends on the final ruling, and the outcomes couldn't be more different. If it supports Archie and Lilibet's recognition, it could restore roles, titles, and reshape how royal tradition works moving forward. A decision like that would signal real change. But if it goes the other way, the impact hits just as hard. It could mean a formal separation, titles gone, roles removed, and a lasting shift in their place within the royal structure. Either way, this isn't just one moment. It's something that could redefine the monarchy's future. And for Harry, the stakes feel even heavier. There are whispers of internal consequences, actions that could push him further away than ever before. Because what started as tension could turn into something permanent. So now the final question is, when the decision comes down, does it rewrite the future or break it apart for good? Just when the pressure couldn't get any higher, another rule enters the picture. A little-known clause that could give final authority to the King or Prince William to override everything. That alone raises the stakes to another level. But insiders say William isn't planning to interfere. Instead, he's reportedly ready to accept whatever decision comes, no matter how intense. Why? Because from his view, the monarchy only survives if its rules are applied consistently. As one aide put it, this isn't about family anymore, it's about the future of the crown. And that's what makes this moment so heavy. What started as a private issue has exploded into something much bigger. Identity, tradition, legitimacy, all colliding at once. Now picture this. Early morning in London. The air feels tense, cameras ready, the world watching. Then, 6:42 a.m., a private jet breaks through the clouds and begins its descent. Not to a public airport, but to a secure military airfield. That choice alone says everything. This isn't casual, this is serious. No crowds, no noise, just precision. The jet lands quietly, met by black vehicles and tight security.
Senior royal officials are already waiting. This is controlled, official, important. Then the door opens. Prince Harry steps out. Calm, serious, the weight clear on his face. No wave, no moment for the cameras. Just silence. And then everything changes. He turns back, reaches inside, and suddenly 2 small figures appear. Archie and Lilibet. Not photos, not rummers. Real, right there in front of the world. The moment freezes. A father, his children, stepping into something bigger than all of them. You can feel it. History, tension, emotion, all colliding in 1 second. This isn't just a headline anymore. This is a turning point. So now the only question left is, what happens next, and will this moment change everything forever?